Good morning. Sun is up. It's 5:56. I'm back on trail. The campsites are really close to the trail. They're just up there. Stormed a couple of times last night. I stayed dry. Everything in my tent stayed dry. But I did have condensation on the inside of my tent. I wiped it down this morning and it was okay. The platform that I set my tent up on was very slippery when it was wet. So I had to crawl to get out to go use the bathroom and crawl to take my tent and stuff apart. But I stepped up there once to grab my trekking pole extender, and slid. I didn't fall, but man, it was very slippery. Because I set up on the platform, the angle that where my vestibule doors are, that angle was not in such a way that I could lower my doors. So I did use my plastic contractor bag to just keep water from splashing back into my tent. And that worked. So I had a little bit of splashback at my feet. I just think no matter what you do, there's no way to stay dry in that tent. But I mean, it was very minor. What else? It's gonna be a muddy, slippery day. I got 2 climbs. I was told one of them is as bad as Bear Mountain yesterday, and I hated that. I'm not looking forward to doing it on the wet rocks. And then I think I'll go into Great Barrington today. That's 3.1 miles off trail. But once I get into town, they have a bus system that costs $7.75 a ride, so I can use that to get around. And then there's a community center that allows free tenting there. So if I magically just get up tons of energy, then the next shelter after that would make a 20-mile day and another hill that I really truly don't think I can do. But if I can do that, then I have enough food to get me to the next town. So we'll see. I'll check in with you later. Stream crossing. Oh no, and there's water on those rocks. All right guys, wish me luck. I'm gonna put the phone away for this. I made it across. It was fine. One of the rocks wobbled though. It's really pretty. So I didn't mention it, but the reason I was saying I'd have to do a 20-mile day is, I don't know the exact location of the shelters, but it would either be an 8-mile or something like that day, or a 20-mile day, because here in Massachusetts you have to stay at campsites or shelters. So yeah, Great Barrington is a good distance for the miles that I want to get in. Rocks, just rocks, all at an angle. I'm climbing Mount Race. Oh, I love the clouds over there. Not quite to the top, but there's a view, and I could use a break. The clouds in there are really pretty too. These are called Mount Race ledges. Look at those beautiful clouds though. It's warm already and humid. No, the thermometer says 65. Maybe it's just that very intense sun already shining on me this early. Still Mount Race ledges. The trail is just skirting around on these ledges like this. Some in quite narrow spots on the edge of cliffs, so I'm not going to pull out my phone to record those. But I'm still not to the summit. This is the summit of Mount Race. I made it. But the views are better on the ledge. Alright. I'm sure it'll be a slippery, steep descent. Try to say that 3 times fast. Oh, and I should say I've been spoiled with the well-marked trails of Connecticut, because these are not well-marked at all. Looks like I'm going to have to do some butt sliding. I think the trail goes down there. I don't have any way of actually knowing because there's no blazes to be found, but that looks like a fairly worn path. And up here it looks like the best option, so I'm gonna go for it. Climbing down that mountain, and I think I found a stealth site. That in there looks pretty flat. There's a path to get to it. Let's see if I can get to it. And in Massachusetts, you're not supposed to stealth camp. So, look at that. Nice, smooth area. Anyway, a friend of mine asked what a stealth campsite was. I don't know if I know the definition, but I have several guidebooks I use Far Out that has GPS coordinates and stuff for me, and AWOL guide, which is on my phone as a PDF, and then White Blaze on my phone as a PDF. All of those apps will list campsites and shelters, and almost all shelters have tent sites with them. So New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, where you're not supposed to stealth camp, you're supposed to stay at those designated sites. So those designated sites are posted as designated sites. So if I go into AWOL and I look at this GPS, well, mile marker I should say, there won't be a campsite listed because that is not a designated campsite. It might be listed in Far Out, and that is because hikers have the ability to leave comments in Far Out saying, hey, there's a stealth site at mile marker 1503 or something, I don't know. So I should probably not record and climb or go down slippery rocks. Anyway, so it's just not a designated campsite or tent site. So according to the ATC, stealth camping is okay unless of course you're in a state where it is not allowed, like this one. And their preference would be for a hiker to use a stealth campsite that already exists. Like that one, that was already smooth. Any brush and grass and stuff was already dead, versus making a new one. I mean, that's kind of clear too, but they would rather you use a stealth site that already exists. That way you're not just damaging more plant life and stuff like that. So that's like the last option for them, is stay at a campsite, shelter, tent site. If you're gonna stealth camp at one that already exists. And I'm gonna guess if you're super desperate, you make your own. I think that's why people like to hammock, because you don't have to really damage much to be able to stealth camp in a hammock. And that's not the only reason people like to hammock, but it is a benefit of having a hammock. So I don't know if that helps, but that was a stealth site. Yeah, just a tent site that's already leveled, cleared, but not designated in any of my guidebooks as being one per the ATC. I think I'm about to start my climb up Mount Everett. It looks like it's straight up and straight down. Probably gonna be as hard as Bear Mountain. Lots of ripe blueberries up in here. Now I'm officially starting the rocky climb up Mount Everett. Wooden stairs to help get up that slippery, steep rock right there. I think I have about half a mile of straight up to go. More wooden steps. This is the summit of Mount Everett. A PUD. Climb all the way up here and there's not even a view. Just trees and bushes.
I'm not even gonna say that. No, I'm leaving my head out.
2602. Oh, it's fine, it's fine. Where did you stay? Sorry, that second video was the summit. I just didn't record up there because there were about 5 other people up there, maybe 4. There was no view either. The previous spot far out made it look like that was the summit. I should have a super steep downhill to climb. Here we go. I fell on that rock that doesn't even look slippery. It is wet. It doesn't look wet, but it is like moist. Anyway, I'm not hurt. Just scratched my thigh about right there. Okay. Nice view over there. Those beautiful hills and mountains. Wow. It's 11:06. I've hiked 7.4 miles. Trust me, they've been hard. Even the, well, it's actually not downhill yet. It's just a bunch of little ups and downs that are very rocky. Anyway, I just stopped to put my sun hat and sun gloves on. I have about 5.8 miles, I think, to get into Great Barrington. And I dug out my mosquito net because from what I understand, that hike into Great Barrington is just a mosquito fest or something. I think one of the comments said I entered healthy and I left with West Nile virus. But yeah, very sunny out here. It's warming up. Very rocky, just super rocky. Slow going, lots of having to get on my hands and knees and slide with my butt. Okay, check in later. That's the trail. Just super slippery rocks straight down. This descent is just ridiculous, you guys. Like, seriously. That's just straight down. It's almost noon. I still have 4.6 miles to go till I get to Great Barrington. The turnoff for Great Barrington. Oops. Dude, I'm not even... It's hard. The trail is hard. It's not so bad now. That's why I'm recording, but even though the far out and AWOL probably make it look like it just kind of goes down, it's just a series of up and down, up and down, up and down rock climbing or rock boulder sort of things, and those slippery sideways rocks and rock stairs, and it was never ever flat. It was just very time consuming. But anyway, now I'm going down. I think I'm getting to a marshy part based on the comments at some point. Anyway, I called the one shuttle driver who was listed in the AWOL guide, and she is not available to pick me up today and take me into Great Barrington. So I'm going to have the 3.1 mile walk into town. And I just don't have a choice because, well, unless I take the gamble that I can stealth camp somewhere, but I can't do a 20-mile day with this kind of trail. So it'll be 16 miles, 3 of which don't count, and then another 3 to get back on the trail in the morning. Freshly fallen tree on the trail. Guess that storm last night blew a tree down. I'm getting into a easier part of the trail now. Oops. It's just little ups and downs, but it's like this and not rocks at the moment. Now I'm walking next to a field. Here's the trail. It's getting warm. Thermometer's to 77. Probably just the sun that makes me feel warm. Here comes the boardwalk. I think this is the mosquito part. I'm not gonna be able to record because that's just a single layer and I don't want to fall. I left the pasture back there and a little bit of a forest. Now I'm in pine forest. It's pretty in here. It's almost 1 o'clock. I'm still walking through the woods and I like it. Oh, it's nice and shaded and cool in here, especially for midday. This is great. I haven't had the pleasure of enjoying mosquitoes yet, but I think that part is still to come for the comments on far out. But oh, it's so nice to be in this cool shade. The thermometer says 78, but it feels fine because I'm not in the sun. I just crossed over that, so I'm starting to get into the marshy parts, I think. These boards here are pretty nice. That's the trail. Just crossed over a bridge. Now I've got a boardwalk. Here we go. The boardwalk just turned into a lot of this. It's a lot of moths. See all of those? Not mosquitoes, moths. Lots and lots. They're showing up on camera. I feel like there's probably just 10 right there alone. I'll Sorry, I read it when I get to camp. I might have a long day of hiking ahead of me. You're here, so that would be the battlefield. Wow, that's pretty cool. There's a plaque right here. Still walking in the field. That over there is the field for Shay's Rebellion. Walking through this field, there's a guy out there with a push mower mowing this for us. I'm not even kidding. I'll pass him in a minute. Wow, it's incredible. What a wonderful person. The guy who was mowing the trail said it's more of a self-powered brush hog sort of thing, but he turned it off and stepped away so I could get by. He didn't have to do that. I would have moved. Look what I see. There's people under that. Let's go check it out.
Did you get caught in the rain last night?
No, we made it. There's an Econo log. Yeah, that's the one.
It's 2:25. I'm back on trail from Trail Magic. Oh, it was awesome and delicious and wonderful and all good things. And they're closing at 3, so they let me pack out a few cookies and stuff. I think with that in mind, I'm not going to go into Great Barrington. It's really lunches I have a problem with trying to find for trail, and man, I ate a bunch of stuff up there, so I was going to just eat a late lunch, early dinner in Great Barrington. But I think I'll be okay till the next town, which means now I have a 7-mile uphill hike to get to the first shelter. It'll be a late night for me, or late day. I don't think it'll quite be night when I get there, but we'll see. Hopefully that food helped. I just crossed the intersection, ooh, white place, for the Great Barrington exit that I didn't take, of course. But I did have to open another map on Far Out. So I opened the Great Barrington to Hanover map, and I only have 2 maps left after that. That's so cool. I have, I think, about 6.5 miles. I heard about these. Someone who makes walking sticks. Hi, take a tiger tail trail stick along your trail. If they are all gone, I will be happy to make you one. Well, I don't need one because I have trekking poles, but I've heard of these. But I just don't need one. Oh, I hope someone really gets a benefit out of those. Alright, I have, I think about 6.5 miles, maybe a little less. 1,500-foot climb, and of course if it's like any of these other climbs, it's gonna be hard and rocky and torturous, so I'm gonna be getting in pretty late if I had to guess, especially for me, especially when it's a 20-mile day and I'm already tired. Then it's ending uphill with rock climbing, and anyway, the point is, don't expect much out of me for the rest of the day because I might just put my head down and try to grind out the miles. I'll check in with you later. More of these. It is 3:12. I'm starting my 1,500-foot climb for the day. Might be a little less, but there's a bunch of climbs in there. It's just that's the elevation it gets up to. I'm certain it's going to be hard because I'm already tired. Got 5 miles left. Did I already say that? Oh, according to that, 5.1 miles. Tom Leonard Shelter is where I'm planning to go. So, see you later. Uh-oh, it's about to go back uphill. Anyway, got a flat section for a second. So, at Trail Magic, when I still had it for sure decided if I was going into Great Barrington or not, there were a bunch of other hikers there too. And they said that, you know, they were staying at the shelter and it's about a 1,500-foot climb over 7 miles. Well, I didn't have the Great Barrington to Hanover map open to know, and I just kind of took their word for it. No, you guys, it is straight up, then a flat section, then like 200 feet straight up with a small flat section, then 200 feet up with a straight flashlight. Ugh, I can't even talk. I'm exhausted. It's hard. But I'm not giving up. Just rocks straight up. Much steeper than it looks on camera. Always. Just had to climb over this gorge. It's pretty deep in there too. It's almost 5. Got 2.6 miles to go. I'm at the ledges. Now I just have a series of ups and downs. But at least I think I'm at the summit of this one. So now probably just a bunch of steep up and downs. I'm worn out, guys. See you later. I'm almost at the end of the day. And of course it's going to end with rock vomit. Of course. But the last couple miles have actually been very easygoing. I'll take a little rock vomit, I suppose. What a glorious sight. It's 6:27. Made it to the turnoff for the shelter. Looks kind of steep though, so I'll record later.
You are spooky, man. Every time I turn around, there you are.
That's not even why I have that as a trail name. Find a place to set up camp. There's my layers of sweat stains from my knee braces. Alright, I'm gonna say goodnight now. It's a 20-mile day, I think. Going to bed. Well, soon. Just have to brush my teeth and put my food away. But good night, everyone.